All right, guys, so we're just going to continue doing some more standard algorithms, and then these word problems, we're just going to do even more standard algorithm. So let's go ahead and do 346 times 207, okay? Now, when we did our area model, we could leave out this 10. When we're doing the problem, we could leave out that the second row of numbers, because there's a 0 there. But we can't just take that out of our problem, because of course if you take 207, if you take that 0 out, you're gonna have 27. Well, $207 is different than $27. So let's go ahead and do our work. I've got 6 times 7 is 42. I'm gonna carry my 4. 7 times 4 is 28 plus 4 more is 32. I'm gonna regroup my 3. I'm gonna cross off that 4 because I know I'm probably gonna regroup more. 7 times 3 is 21 plus 3 more is 24. Okay, now this is where I'm not going to do that 10, but I'm going to come over to my 200. But remember, it's 100, so I need to add those 2 zeros. So now I can do 6 times 2 is 12, regroup my 1. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. 3 times 2 is 6. And now I can add them together. Oops. And I get 71,622. Okay, so now I've got 1,346, and I can multiply that by 207. All right, so 6 times 7 is going to give me 42. Oops, gosh, I'm writing this backwards, guys. I don't know what's wrong with me. 2, regroup my 4. 7 times 4 is 28, plus 4 more is going to give me 32. I almost wrote that 3 again, the wrong place. 7 times 3 is 21, plus 3 more is going to give me 24, so I'm going to regroup that 2. 7 times 1 is 7, plus 2 more is 9. Okay. Again, guys, I don't need to do that 10. There's no reason for me to do that, but I do need to make sure, because I'm coming down and doing 200, I need to add those 2 zeros. Okay. 6 times 2 is 12, regroup the 1. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9. 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 1 is 2. I'm going to add these all together. 2, 2, 6, 8. Regroup the 1. 6 plus 1 is 7. And then 2. The answer is 278,622. Okay. So number 4, it says a school district purchased 615 new laptops for their mobile labs, and each one costs $409. What is the total cost for all of the laptops? So I'm going to take that 615 and I'm going to multiply it by that 409, which is how much they cost. And so I need to figure this out. We've got that 0 there, still have to have it, but when we come to work it, we don't have to go through and do 0 times 5, 0 times 1, 0 times 6. So I'm going to go ahead and start multiplying. I've got 9 times 5 is 45. I was almost giving you guys the answer. 9 times 1 is 9, plus 4 more is 13. So I'm going to regroup that 1. 9 times 6 is 54, plus 1 is 55. Okay, this is, guys, remember where I'm not going to put that 0 there. I'm not going to multiply out those 10s, but I am going to come to that 100, so I need to make sure that I have those 2 zeros. So now I can go ahead and do 4 times 5 is 20, regroup my 2. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 more is 6. And then 4 times 6 is 24, and I want to add these all together. 5, 3, 5. 11, regroup my 1, 5. Oh my goodness. The cost of these computers is $251,535 for that school district to purchase those 615 laptops. Okay, so now we're going to come down here and it says a publisher prints 1,512 copies of a book in each print run. If they run 305 runs, how many books will be printed? So I'm going to multiply these out. So I have 1,512, and I'm going to multiply it by 305. Okay, so now let's go through and do our multiplication. 2 times 5 is 10, regroup the 1. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1 is 6. 5 times 5 is 25, regroup my 2. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 2 more is 7. Okay, again, here's that 0. I think they're putting that in there for a reason, for you guys to get this practice. So I'm going to skip that 10, but I'm going to go to my 100, but I still need to put those 2 zeros as that place value holder. I'll cross off these regroups so I don't reuse them. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. 3 times 5 is 15. Regroup that 1. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 1 more is 4. So I'm now going to add all of these together. And after doing the math, how many books will be printed? 461,160 books are printed. Okay. The last one, it says, at the 2010 consensus, so the year 2010, there were 3,669 people living in Marlboro, New York. Brooklyn, New York has 681 times as many people. So how many more people live in Brooklyn than Marlboro? Okay, so first what we need to figure out is we need to figure out how many people live in Brooklyn. So I think this is going to be, guys, a two-part problem. So the first thing I want to do is I know that there's 3,669 people living in Marlboro. Brooklyn has 681 times that. So I'm going to multiply this out. So 9 times 1 is 9. 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 1 is 6. 3 times 1 is 3. Gosh, that was so easy. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do my tens column, which remember I've got to do that 0 to show me that I'm multiplying it by that 10. 8 times 9 is 72. Regroup my 7. 8 times 6 is 48. Plus 7 more is going to give me 55. So I'm going to regroup my 5. 8 times 6 is 48. Plus 5 more is going to give me 53. 8 times 3 is 24 plus 5. 24 plus 5 is going to give me 29. Okay, so now I'm going to do that 600. And now I'm going to do 6 times 9 is going to give me 54. Here's my 5. 6 times 6 is 36 plus 5 more is 41. 6 times 6 is 36 plus 1 more is 40. 6 times 3 is 18 plus 4 more is 22. So when I add this all up, this is saying that in Brooklyn, New York, which Brooklyn, New York is pretty big, we have 2,498,589. That tells me that's how many people live in Brooklyn. But I want to know how many more people live in Brooklyn than Marlboro. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this number, that 240, I shouldn't say 200, I should say 2,498,589, and I'm going to subtract that 3,669 people. So now that I've subtracted, oh my goodness, this is so nice. I don't have to borrow. Oh, darn, I do have to borrow here. 8, 7, 15 minus 6 is 9. There we go. 7, we're back on track where I don't need to borrow. So Brooklyn, New York has 2,494,920 people more than Marlboro, New York. Okay, so there's our answer to that problem.